Hey, it's your boy Yellow Sheldon, Johnny, aka Johnny Edamame. It's another beautiful spring evening here in Seattle, Washington, and I want to talk to you a little bit about tasting the rainbow. We all know kooka cranks, kooka brake levers, kooka components in general. I don't think I've ever seen a company that had such a good anode job as kooka. We have the age-old I am holding the Rastafarian cranks. Really gorgeous piece. These are particularly nice because they are, they're just unscathed. There's basically not a scratch on these things. Yeah, it's got some cheap rings, some red anode Vuelta chain rings, but whatever. We have our patriotic red, white, and blue kooka cranks. Now whenever I pick these up, I am always looking for cracks in these guys. Several generations of these were known for cracking. You will see that they're heavily relieved. Reference the hollow crank video I made. These are somewhat of an I-beam construction. They're really, well, it's probably like 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters of wall thickness here, and they're heavily relieved around the spider and also around the pedal threads. These ones are a little banged up, and you can see that they have sort of a modular spider. The spider is held in place by this square tab A slot B thing and this bolt. And then I have some sort of plain Jane silver ones. Now there were several revisions of these. You can see here is a great example of the contrast between these two designs. This one is completely missing this U of material here. There were some that were more or less solid all the way up. From what I understand, a lot of these were machined from billet and a lot of them were forged. And so once again, with the sort of custom bespoke part manufacturing industry from the 90s, we find out that, failures of any kind give you a very bad name for years to come. When you have a product and you sort of rush it to market and maybe do inadequate testing to it, if you have public failures of these products, you're screwed. You will forever be talked about as the company that had cranks that just exploded. Now, I've had several sets of kooka cranks, like Vader's and some of the compact ones. None of them have ever exploded on me. I've never seen any cracks. I've had a lot of CQP and Cook Brothers cranks. Every single damn set of Cook Brothers cranks I've ever owned has cracked on me, and I'm not a big guy. So, your mileage may vary when it comes to this stuff. The cranks aren't really the point. You can see I also have this Kooka Racha brake lever here. I only have the one. The teeny tiny little coil spring in here which provides the back spring pressure. I've had these before, and I've also had these crack on me, but it's because I just installed them too tightly. The coolest thing is, I think it was Posh Bike UK. It's like a sort of custom boutique bike shop in the UK. I never got the name of the manufacturer of the brake lever, but they were basically remaking these levers. But instead of, how do I describe this? If you've ever bought tools for your dad on Father's Day, you may have perused tool catalogs and seen the Robo Grip. And what you see is that you have a laminated tool. So, get out a piece of paper here. By noob. On this lever, you just have a plate of billet aluminum, right? On the Robo Grip, I'm not sure why I held that up to the camera. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, yeah, I drew a rectangle. You've probably seen these tools where rather than be one piece of metal, the entire handle, the moving parts, are made from a laminate of riveted together steel or aluminum. There's a lot more surface area. It's a lot stronger of a way to build a tool. Now, my assumption is that when cheap Father's Day tool companies are building these, they're building them this way so they can use inferior materials and still have them be equally strong to a drop forged or another well-manufactured tool. But these levers are so thin and tiny that the idea of making the blade of it a laminated structure where you sort of have a pin here, maybe a pin in there, and this is multiple layers of aluminum sheets. I thought that was so neat. Now, it's not around now, so who knows how well it worked, but cool shit. So, what I want to talk about is we need to bring back anodizing, friends. You know, people are spending more money on their bikes now than I've ever seen in my life. You know, it's not unusual for someone to just come in and say, well, I want a gravel bike or I want an adventure touring bike, and just drop $4,000 on it, you know? Every bike company is selling ultra high-end adventure bikes. And then, not to mention the fucking accessories that they put on them. We need to bring back the iriness. There is no reason that there's not room for a company, a small mom-and-pop company, shit, I might do it myself, that couldn't offer custom ano stuff. And yes, there's that one place in Arizona which will anodize titanium for you, and yes, Firefly is doing some anodization on their frames. That's Ti-Ano. I want a company where you can send in your parts. You send me your, let's say, you send me your Dura Ace cranks. I'm going to strip them, I'm going to polish them to a mirror shine, and I will do tie-dye anodization for you. I mean, I feel like there's a market, and honestly, if there's not a market, get your mind right, people. You could be riding a goddamn trash can, and if it had cranks like this on it, you're still going to get the fucking D. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on anodization. I had a nice little collection of kooka cranks here to stare at, and, you know, tell me what you think in the comments. I mean, was this gauche? Is this too gaudy? You know, am I a trapper-keeper sucking fool for liking this throwback fucking bullshit? Or is this something that genuinely has a timeless beauty and that people should actually invest time and money into making happen again? I mean, most people who are really into bikes, it's like an extension of them. So let your cranks, let your headset, let your stem be an extension of your personality. Once again, I'm going to say good job to all of you who have subscribed newly. We're at like 50-something subscribers, which is, honestly, it's peanuts, you know. But I do appreciate the views. I have some cool stuff to show. I got a like GoPro, and I'm going to figure out a head rig so that I can actually do repair videos. Downloaded some open source video editing software, so we'll see how that goes. You know, I'm looking to sort of up the level of quality on these things and actually start showing you actual repairs rather than just sort of jerking off in front of the camera about cool parts that I found. So, you know, there's definitely going to be, like, weird thing of the day. If I have a crazy repair, you know, I might just put the brakes on it, so to speak, and record what I do to fix it. Or I might talk about mysteries that elude even me, and what the problem actually turned out to be. Spoiler, it was devils living in the bike. So yeah, keep sharing my videos, subscribe, you know, keep commenting. I love it. Especially you, Joe Ott. I know you're watching this, and I always appreciate your input. For those of you who don't know, Joe works at FSA. He's a buddy of mine, and you will see his comments on my videos from time to time. He's a really good guy. Yeah, that's about it on this. I'm going to do another video in a second about whether or not the center of hubs is necessary. Alright, have a good night. Yellow Sheldon, signing off.